Hey y'all, I'm Alisa Nicole. Welcome to my channel where I talk about everything military related, and I'm bringing y'all along my now Space Force journey. Today I'm getting into the Dlab. Like in my last video I mentioned, I put a cryptologic analyst as my #1 job pick, and for that job you have to take a test called the Dlab. So I'm going to get into that. I'm going to get into what I used to study for it, how I scored, how long I had to study for it, and what the test was like. So don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe if you want, and let's get right into the video. With any testing for the military, you're going to go to MEPS. So this is my third time going to MEPS to take this test. So it's the same process. I made 2 previous videos on my MEPS experiences, and it's basically the same as my last experience, like the hotel and like waking up in the morning, the bus ride. All that is the same except for what I did at MEPS. I was just going there to test, and that test was earlier than my ASVAB test, so I wasn't there as long as my previous experiences, because that test was earlier in the morning instead of later in the morning or afternoon. I took the test I think around like 8 o'clock, like 7 or 8 o'clock. We waited just maybe an hour when we got there. So the people that are special testing, the Dlab is considered a special test. You take your test first, and then people that are taking the ASVAB come in later because it's taken at a later time. So the test isn't as long as the ASVAB. You get about 2 hours to take this test, but you are timed on each question that you take. So I believe, if I remember correctly, you get 90 seconds per question, and the majority of the test is audio. So you're going to have headphones on, and it's the audio part, then it's the visual part where you're going to translate pictures into made-up words. Basically, this test is to determine how well you can learn a new language in a short amount of time. So for the audio part, like I said, you're going to have headphones on, and the first section is the stress syllable section. So with the stress syllable section, you want to figure out like which word that they give you is stressed differently than all the other words. You're going to get 4 different answer choices, and you're only going to see the letters A, B, C, and D. Like, you're not going to see anything else on the screen except for the A, B, C, and D. I hope I can explain this to where y'all can understand. So, okay, so you're going to see A, B, C, and D, and you're going to have your headphones on. And then you're going to hear the answer choices in the headphones, right? The answer choices, they are made of words that are made from the made-up language of the test. So you're going to get a set of rules that you have to go by to, translate the language. And then you have a section where you are starting to use the rules that they give you. And in total you get 9 different rules, but they break them apart in each section. So the first sentence section that you're going to translate, you get the first 3 rules, and then the second part you get the second 3 rules, the third part the last 3 rules, and then the last part of the audio part is all 9 rules put together. You will be able to learn the rules before you take the test if you study, So the rules are: the adjective comes after its respective noun. Both the adjective and its respective noun will end with the same vowel sound. Never include articles in a sentence, like A and D, like that. The possessor always comes after the possession. Possess ends with U or A. Possessor always ends with a short I, but the sound is E. Instead of I, is E. So the letter I would sound like E. Subject has an as sound in the middle. Object always ends with a long A sound, and verbs always begin with the ya, never ends with an S. So those are the 9 rules that basically form this language. Easier once you start practicing translating with actual sentences. So let me see if I have some examples. Let's say you have a sentence that says Becky bought a red car. So it says don't use the article. So you take out a. So that would turn into Becky bought red car. Then it says the subject has an as sound in the middle. So the subject is Becky. So it would be Becky. And it says verbs always begin with the ya and never ends with an S. So the verb is bought. So it would be ya bought. And it would be Becky ya bought caro redo. And that's how you translate it. So it'll be something like that. Like when you get to the sentence part, that's how it'll be, and you'll be able to see the first sentence that you have to translate, but you won't be able to see the answer choices. So you'll see A, B, C, and D, but you won't see those answer choices. It's definitely going to help you to study all 9 rules and to memorize them, so you can just like naturally incorporate them into the sentence that you need to translate. You definitely have to know like your grammar, like your noun, pronouns, articles. Like you have to know what a possessor and a possession is, the subject, the verb, adjectives, objects. So I know I had to go back and just like brush up on those things just to, you know, make sure I know what is. I know for me it helps to see the sentence, because you do see the original sentence, and to kind of picture and know like what it's supposed to sound out before you click for the answer choices to play. And a lot of it is going to sound like very similar, so you really have to know what you're listening for. It just gets so frustrating once you get to the last audio section and they incorporate all 9 rules. And I know some rules are going to be easier to put into the sentence than others. So I kind of struggle with certain sections because it was a little bit harder to put those, like to memorize those rules. And you'll be able to see the rules as you go through the questions. So that would be the whole audio part. Now the visual part, I wish I had an example, like a visual example, but I'm just going to explain the best way I can. The visual part, they're going to give you a set of pictures, and under maybe like 3 or 4 pictures, and underneath the pictures are going to be like words in the made-up language, and you have to like kind of know what the words are talking about in each picture. There'll be similarities within the pictures, but it's like very vague similarities, because you can have like a rose and a worm and like a string, and then like the similarity would be like they're all narrow or something like that, and something within each word underneath the picture will indicate that part of the word means narrow. So you really have to like do a lot of critical thinking for it. And for the answer choices, you get pictures and words, and some of them you just get words in the made-up language. So yeah, that's the best way I can explain it. But I'm going to give y'all what I used to study for, because that really helped me. I only had 3 days to study for this test because I let my recruiter know that I was interested in the cryptologic analyst job, and he booked me for like the next texting day, and I had 3 days. So I think I told him like on a Friday, and I had to test on Monday. So I looked into like what I can use to study for the test, and the best one I found was it's something called the official Dlab manual, something like that, but I'll link it in my description box. And that really helps. It tells you everything that you need to know. It gives you a practice test, practice questions, like everything, the rules, everything. So everything that's in there is going to be on the test. Those same exact rules are going to be on the test. I didn't pass. I feel like if I had more time to study, I definitely would have, because it was just like so mind-blowing and completely new, like, to my freaking brain. I got a 98 on the test. I needed at least a 110 to qualify for that job, so that's why I didn't get that job. But make sure you just prepare. And a lot of people say it's a test that you really can't study for, but yes, you can study. I definitely studied, and I feel like if I didn't have at least those 3 days to study, then I would have done as well as I did. Because a lot of people go in, don't study, and just bomb the test and make like a 20 or 30 something. So that manual will really help me out, and I think it'll improve anybody's score that's going to retake or just really going to take it for the first time. You definitely want to get that manual. It's only $10. Well, it was only $10 when I got it, and I got it off of Amazon, and I'll link it in my description box below. But hopefully this can help y'all out and give y'all some insight if you're going to take the Dlab. Good luck. I hope y'all score well. I hope y'all pass and get the job that y'all want. Feel free to comment if you have any more questions or if I left anything out. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you want. Stay tuned for more videos. I got y'all.